Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dakota and here we are discussing all things uniqueness. We're channeling, we're having meditations, and today I have a message for you, which is support. The topic of support is very personal to me. Well, all the things are very personal to me because I don't want to talk about nothing that is not personal to me. I have never been supported my entire life. I have been raised to be a slave, to follow someone else's guidelines, to think how others wanted me to think. I actually didn't even know what support meant. What I do know is how hard it is to not have it and how we actually do not know what it is and do not know how to give it, do not know how to receive it, and do not know how to treat ourselves with support, and how to show up for ourselves first and foremost. Because I guess the first thing is like let's just talk about it from a universal level. From the top, let's go from the top to the bottom and start with the most ungrounded level, with the level of spirituality, where we imagine or believe that everything is a mirror, right? So first of all, it's like, how are you supposed to receive support and you're wondering why there is no support in your life if you've never ever been there for yourself like at all. You walk throughout the world complaining, and I also talk to myself right now because I do that, complaining about the lack of support, lack of people showing up for you, people understanding you, people listening to your thoughts, people, hearing you out, loving your emotions, holding your emotions, understanding you as a person on a very deep level. If you are not there for yourself, if you have given not a single hour to do that for yourself, and I know this angers you, it angers me, because we would love to hate ourselves, and get all the love in the world, but I mean like a healthy love, not like a toxic fan base or addictions where we just follow, like run after likes or anything like that. No, like where it fills us, it actually fills us. It's not an addiction, but we are feeling fulfilled and we are not afraid of feeling itself. How are we supposed to manifest that if we have never ever been there for our thoughts, if we don't know how we think, if we have not given ourselves the most basic support in terms of just being there for ourselves, to tune in with ourselves, to do what we love, to care how we feel, to let our emotions express and be felt and heard. How are we supposed to do that? How are we supposed to have support from our friends that we so desperately desire if we never tell them that we need support, if we don't even pause to recognize that we do need support for someone else, least of all, ask it? And we walk around the world, in this shutdown mode, in this hiding image I'm getting of just like in a hoodie, just like head down, and like not recognizing anything. And that is incredibly painful, but that's what you gotta do. And I guess maybe if you're watching this video, I'm here to tell you to do that. Show up for yourself, at least for a little bit, And hey, maybe even watching this video and me telling you that is a step forward. So, also I know that it's so hard because the first step that most of us take, when even you hear me talking, is just instantly being self-hateful, being like, oh, I'm not here for myself enough. I'm treating myself so badly, It's like, I understand that. But how about you actually try and support this part of you too? This part of you that hates you. And I know it's hard. And I know it kind of makes the mind go a little bit like woozy, because it's like, what? Like, how am I supposed to support the part of me that needs softness and the part of me that destroys me? Yeah, you can be there for both, you know? You're not supposed to be one thing. And I'm here to tell you that good support will recognize that, and you should not expect yourself to be one way. And you can support both sides of yourself without, you know, worrying against one side of you or the other, or your inner self critic or whatever, you know. So we got that down, the spiritual side. Okay, now let's get to the lower side, the more grounded side, the support, the physical support, or maybe emotional support. Which one is lower? I think we got spiritual, we got emotional. I think emotional is probably better. My God, I don't even know where to start, because the emotional neglect that is currently present in society is paramount. It's indescribable. I feel like support is to uplift and recognize and allow someone to be how they are, and uplift the direction that they're going in. And oftentimes we mistake support for solving other people's problems for them. We mistake other people's problems as something that we can't solve or must, and take on responsibility, especially for people pleasers. And we take away this power because we feel like, or we have been conditioned by society, to show support in just one way. And when the person doesn't get better, we're like, why isn't it working? And we're just like jumping in, trying to solve their problems, taking away their journey, trying to live their journey for them. And that is a very very acceptable form of support. And I guess that is exactly why mental health field is really failing, because it's not working, because that is not what most people need. Most people need someone who recognizes where they are in their journey, and the fact that they are there where they are right now, and for someone to hold their hand and go through that with them, not try to lead them through it. I mean, sometimes, yes, like there's a degree, to a degree, but people do not need to be taught how to think. We can do that on our own. And in fact, so many of us have not been trusted to think in our childhood and think for ourselves. And well, I know a lot of us, yes, in fact, because there's another spectrum of people who have been, encouraged to think independently. But if you're more on the other spectrum, then this is for you. We need to be trusted, we need to be trusted to think for ourselves. We need to be trusted to stand on our 2 feet, to, believe in ourselves, to show that we can. And we need someone there to just be there and be like, yay, you can do it, you can go, you can make it, We don't need them to come in and say how to make it or how to make it happen. It's, we can do it ourselves. But we do need them to be there and witness us. And I guess that is a very singular form of support. But I know that this is the form of support that I usually need. And when I don't get that, I'm just like going all crazy and nothing's working. So that's like one form of support, emotionally especially, and for women, I guess, especially too, because men usually like to come in and try and solve our problems, and then they get a little explosion back in their face and they go like, why, what happened, and funny, I guess. But in regards like to emotions and how it works with emotions, that's usually what emotions need. Emotions themselves need to be felt. And so this was my very lengthy explanation of explaining in detail as to how it works. You need someone to just crawl through the mud with you. And that's the greatest support there is. And not a lot of people have bravery to do that. And that's why a lot of people are failing to support others emotionally. Because, well, to support someone emotionally, you have to also be able to feel emotions. And that also includes, crawling through the mud field together. So, and it requires big bravery. Big bravery. Big bravery. It requires big bravery. Big bravery to be able to support someone emotionally, And it's very hard. And I wish more people had the bravery to feel so they could not be afraid of getting invested into and feeling other people's, emotions. And that's one of the things that I hate in traditional therapy is that most of therapists have this, protocol of not attaching, not getting invested. And so that is so destructive, in my opinion. That is no wonder it doesn't work, Like, no wonder we still end up feeling unseen and unfelt and unexperienced because people are just afraid to get in the mud, therapists included, fully in the mud with the other person. And so many of us need that. And the truth is that we are living in an unsupportive world. We are living in a world that we are slowly destroying. We are living in a world that is slowly eating us alive. And so support, and I do not mean it in a nice quote way where we die since we are born, like we die every day since we're born. No, I mean it in the way where we are not living, we're surviving and being slowly destroyed by our environment, by the very environment we created to allow and enable all our comforts, which is extremely sad. And so let's get down to the bottom level, which is, I don't know, what is it, the most grounded support, physical support, which is like, man, like there's nothing to even talk about. The world is so comfortable for all of us, and yet all of us are surviving, and all of us are struggling, and all of us are in pain, most of us. Okay, I don't want to say all of us, because of course not all of us. Most of us, a lot of us, society are in pain. And I feel like the biggest issue is not even, like, we have created a very comfortable world for ourselves, and the biggest issue is us being so disconnected from ourselves and not being supportive to our human parts, to our vulnerabilities, that we are destroying ourselves, that we are just running further and further away from everything that makes us connect with others, from everything that makes us thrive and be together and flourish as people. We're living in ignorance and thinking that that's all there is, or more like we are living in just not knowing of how it is, not even recognizing the support that we need and how much, and that we lack it. So the first step is to recognize that you need support, then give it to yourself in whatever action, word, or touch, anything that you need. and then try and give it to others. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you learned something new, got some insights. I did a little bit, and stay unique. Bye bye.